So this one, how to survive prison. So we're gonna go over a brief overview of a few things of how to survive prison. If you find yourself in this unfortunate scenario, or if you're a wife or you have a husband or a wife, somebody's in prison and you're trying to get knowledge, we're gonna go over a few things here that should be able to help you. There's a few things that you can just really stay away from. Not saying that you're not going to find any issues or any problems, but again, you can avoid a lot of things. So I've been about 5 or 6 different prison facilities in Florida and Mississippi. Different states have different rules and stuff, but there are some main things that we're going to cover here that would be just good rule of thumb for anywhere you're at, federal system, state system, no matter. So let's just jump right into it. One, do not borrow money from people. A lot of that lending money, when people or other inmates are lending you money, they're trying to take advantage of you. They're going to charge you, a lot of times they do like what they call 1 for 2. So if you borrow, say, 2 candy bars, they want 4 back. You can easily find yourself overwhelmed, with that, trying to pay back double the amount. And a lot of times it's to fill you out, to see, how they think if you're soft or something like that. So point blank period, unless you just a seasoned veteran in this game and know what you're doing, don't borrow money from people. If somebody offers you something, no thank you, don't want it. That's just a entryway into some things that you just rather avoid. So that's one. Don't take any money from them. Don't borrow anything. Like when you first get to prison, like a lot of times your money's not on. Your people got to send it. It's got to be set up and all that. Just wait for it to come on. Do not, I repeat, do not borrow money, canteen, or anything else from people, unless you have somebody in there and they cool. You need an envelope, stamps, whatever, fine, to write to people. But other than that, stay away from that. Two, if you're gay, bisexual, that's one of the biggest things I've seen, fights, stabbings, and stuff like that, about messing with what they call boys. So that if you are gay, again, do your own thing. But I'm telling you, that's been problematic. It's one of the most problematic things that I would advise you to stay away from. Boy booty or homosexual activity leads to a lot of violence and stuff in prison from other dudes wanting the guy you're with or whatever. So, that's something to stay away from. Thirdly, just stay to yourself. Stay out of people's business. Sometimes you're going to find some inmates who are, if you can't just avoid somebody who just want to fight you or take advantage of you or whatever, sometimes you will meet that scenario. It's probably pretty unlikely, but sometimes you will meet that. But you can avoid a lot of that a lot of times by just staying to yourself, not letting people get to know you and find all about you. Just like I said, just stay to yourself. That will go a long ways. Do a lot of if you like books, spend a lot of your time reading, studying law, maybe trying to get your case reversed, working on law. But there's a lot of things you can do in prison to use your time and, effectively use your time. And then again, you're staying away from, a lot of people and just letting them into your circle and getting to know you, which can be a bad thing until you've gotten in there and became a veteran and you know what's going on. So, but yeah, besides the point, like I say, but spend your time. For instance, I wrote a book that I wrote right here. I wrote this entirely in prison, and when I came out, that's the hard part, the big part, getting it written. And when I came out, I was able to get this, turned in and self-published it myself. So, you got a lot of time in there. So, try and spend it effectively. Of course, there are other things you can do while you're in prison. You can get some, there are some certifications and some things that trades that you can possibly learn. A lot of them straight up are just BS bullshit that are not going to convert into a good job when you get out of prison, but there are some that will. One that they used to have in Florida, and I'm not sure if they still have it, was called Wastewater. Wastewater was an excellent program. It gave you like a real state certification, and that was, well worth it. I've seen other programs that are not, that just BS and not gonna get you no good job when you get out of prison. So, but that what you can do is what certification. That's another That's another video we'll do. But on this one again, just how to survive prison. And again, you do want to, stay out of, most fights and stuff you can. You want to get your game time and get home as early as possible. So trying to think of a few. Let me see if RJ got any questions just from a layman's, like a person not been in prison. If she got any questions that on how to survive prison, maybe we'll top off, and because I've given you the main things to stay away from. Go ahead, RJ.
For somebody who is gay, wouldn't that be an up thing for them? Who would they fight? Would they be fighting? I mean, they gonna get in trouble? Wouldn't that be a good access for them?
You say a good access for them, or?
I mean, like good help, since they don't mind, having doing sex or whatever.
I think because she's not mic'd up, but what she's asking, what for somebody who's gay in prison, would it be basically, okay for them because, they're gay, so they're having sex? Wouldn't that make the person, kind of happy instead of wanting to fight them? And yes, the person, so if you're gay and you're dating, this person here, yeah, they may be happy, but it may be another guy that wants your gay boyfriend, you know what I mean? So he's trying to beat you up or something because he wants almost like when you're a man and a woman and another man wants the woman. So it's just 10 times worse in there. So yeah. And then you see a lot of the relationships go bad, and it can just be ugly. So, sometimes it can work, like you say, they happy together, two people happy together, and sometimes it works fine. But a lot of times, even if the two people are happy together, other gay men are mad and want, that person you're with. So, yeah, overall, I would stay away from the gay thing. Unless you're just at a laid-back facility where there's no issues. And I've been in laid-back facilities where, you don't hardly see anything. Everybody just cool or whatever. And I've been at prison where it's on lockdown every other damn week because somebody got stabbed. So, good question to RJ. Give me another one.
So, what about if you're the very first timer and you're going to prison? You got 10 years, your first time in prison. You're going to prison. So what's the first thing they should do or not do, both?
Okay, so our question was, if you got like 10 years or your first time in prison, what's like some of the first things that you should do and some of the first things that you should not do. So we went over, most of the things that you should not do as far as not borrowing money from people and stuff like that. What we didn't touch on, I think, is some of the things that you should do. One, if I had 10 years in prison, you want to try and get some type of, me personally, I'd want to get something going on as far as trying to make some type of money in prison. Now that's a little risky. So if you're not a veteran, you may want to stay away from that. So let me not advise. If you're new to prison, let me not advise that. Don't worry about trying to make any money. That's probably a no-no. I got a little carried away with my thinking, my mindset. But what you would want to do is I would find something to occupy my time. So I did a lot of reading. I love Star Trek, so I think they had 80 something books in the Star Trek Next Generation series, and they had most of them at the library. So that's something you do want to do as far as, find something to do your time. And then find something else, like I say with the book, find something that you can do. This will make you feel good. It felt great to complete this, project or writing this in prison. So, even if it doesn't, like this hasn't came out, and I've had sales with this, so of course I'm not no millionaire from the book, but it felt great to complete that in prison and be able to come out and say, hey, I got this completed, and be able to get it published. And you can really, that time, like, you don't understand, out here in the street, you're busy, it's like that, but you got time when you're in there. You can write a book, you can write several books. You could come out of prison and written 5 books, got some type of wastewater certification. Sometimes, I'm not sure if you can still do it, but you could go to actually get a college degree or some type of degree. A lot of them is where you can do it from the prison. So that's an option sometimes too. But anything that you can do that's going to be helpful, whether it's a wastewater certification or anything like that, that's going to transition and give you be able to, hop out here running when you get out. It's going to be great. And one of them, like I say, would be wastewater certifications. Anything that's going to be like a real certification that the state and everybody else is going to accept, and you're going to be able to get a job in that field when you get out. Would be great. Another good one that's one of the only other good ones I can think of is truck driving. They used to have the truck driving where you could get your CDLs in prison. If you can get that, jump out. CDLs, truck driving is a big, that's money when you get out, and they will hire you even with the conviction. So All right.
Yeah, that wasn't the question I was talking about.
Mm.
Your first time in there, so do they need to make a, do they, like they facial, do they not, do they make facials? If somebody say, hey, how you doing? They come up to you and they talking with you. Do you go ahead and talk to them? Do you not? Do you like make your mute face and walk away from them? Like, don't say nothing to them? I mean,
So she's asking when your interactions, if you're new in the prison, somebody comes up to you trying to talk to you, how you should respond. And I'm only repeating your question, RJ, 'cause I know you're not mic'd up.
no,
But
I meant to say,
yeah.
I meant to say interactions. So
Oh no, you
right, yeah.
you perfect. So your interaction with people, you don't want to be rude to people, you know what I mean, and give somebody a reason to so. But I would just limit, so I wouldn't. If somebody come up to me and say, "Hey, what's up, man? You new here?" Yeah, and keep it moving. You know what I mean? Don't be like, "Yeah, man, I am." You want to show me around, or can you tell me how this place? You know what I mean? Because you don't know who you're talking to. It could be a guy that's a decent guy, just want to help you out, tell you out, or it could be somebody who's motivated to fill you out and see if he believes you weak, and the next thing you know, he's trying to rob you or hurt you or something like that. So to minimize that, if you're not some veteran in the prison game, you're rookie, yeah, just keep your answer real short and yep, no, do you need help around here? You need it? I'm good, man. You know what I mean? Be respectful, but keep it moving. So. All right. Well, that was some great questions we got from RJ. I think we had this one here long enough. So, how to survive prison. If you guys got any questions, put them in the comments down there. I will respond to them. If you want more detailed information, I do give like consultant calls that I charge for. So, again, I've been to 5-6 different prisons, Florida, Mississippi, got friends in state and federal. So most of the questions that you could ask, I know. And like I say, if you have any, really detailed consultant type stuff that you want to know, canteen phone calls, trying to get to a better prison, being transferred, any of that. If we need to, we can go to consultant. If you have a basic question, put it in the comments. Other than that, please, 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 as always, like this video, share, hit the thumbs up and all that for me. And until next time, we'll see you.